Hi there guys, and welcome to a very, very special first look video at a new route. This is of course the Breckland line for TrainSim 2018. Since I didn't say welcome to TrainSim 2018, this is a route I've been watching really closely on the UKTS forums, and it's one I'm incredibly excited about because it's local to me. This is the Cambridge-Norwich line, so known as the Breckland line. It's a 51-mile railway line linking Norwich, Norfolk, Ely, Cambridge, Cambridgeshire, passing through small areas of Suffolk along the way. The route is set in 2005 to 2006 when semaphore signals still reigned and telegraph poles could still be seen along the line. This should allow for plenty of scenario potential, both modern day and historic, is what the blurb says. This is done by a guy called Mr. Hartley, is what I'll call him. I don't know if I'm allowed to say his full name, and I can't remember his username, so I'm just going to call him Mr. Hartley in a minute. It's the guy who did the Moorgate extension for Backdated Train Sim. So this isn't just by somebody who's just popped up and gone, oh, I'm doing a route. It's by somebody who has got a bit of credence and a bit of credit behind them. Currently working on this route in the spare time. At the moment, Norwich to Attleborough is complete. So this is an alpha. Okay, it says here a small alpha preview of the route is now available, featuring 16-mile Attleborough to Norwich section and a scenario. Comes with one scenario. So this is an alpha. So it's heavily work in progress. So the minute there literally just is Attleborough to Norwich, but already I am completely smitten with this route. It is stunning. The detail on it is outstanding. I literally don't have a bad word to say about it at the moment. Just the quality that's coming through freeware-wise at the minute is unreal. So I'm going to stop waffling on. Requirements, off the top of my head, if I can remember them correctly, Steam, Great Eastern Main Line, West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley. If you don't have the West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley, sorry, I do apologise, get it in the Steam sale. Even if it's not going to, the route itself isn't going to run brilliantly on your computer, get it just so you've got the assets for all the freeware stuff that's coming up. So West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley, Great Eastern Main Line, East Coast Main Line South, South London Network, and then Wherry lines, either the Steam or the AP one. They're what you need. You also need things like the AP station pack that's already included in a lot of those routes, European asset pack already included in a lot of the routes, and you will need to have the Academy installed. I don't usually have the Academy installed, so I did have to reinstall the Academy for this. That comes with TrainSim. It comes from 2015 onwards, or whatever it was. I think it got put into all of the train sims in the end, as far as I'm aware. Right, let's get this thing going. So it's got our doors open, and we missed the blurb, and I don't have the blurb here. So we're on our way to Attleborough. Not to Attleborough. We're in Attleborough on our way to Norwich. And I did this scenario last night, slightly inebriated, on the stream. Chris is the person who made the scenario. It's Chris Horsford's scenario. Hopefully this will be released in the next couple of days. There is one scenario that comes with the route. I chose to do Chris's just because there's slightly more variety of stock on it. We are 1 Lima 02. And we're at 032 if I remember rightly. Right, on. Headlights on, marker lights off, instrument lights on. So, Attleborough. Looks like Attleborough. Really, really impressed with this. Really impressed with it. It's looking very, very good. From the fencing to the line side detailing to the stuff in people's back gardens to car parks. It looks lived in. It looks and feels lived in, which I really like. So of course most of the time this line sees 170s and 158s, East Midlands trains run a Nottingham service and also a Liverpool Lime Street service, I think, from Norwich, don't they? So like I was saying, even in the gardens, you've got all those little assets that to me just bring routes alive. And considering this is an alpha, it's looking very, very nice. This is start some of the telegraph poles now as well, which do make a really big difference. It was a very key part to this route. It was one of those routes that they were still in use, the telegraph wires at this point. It's cool. It's very, very cool. The route itself means a lot to me because it is probably the line that I travel on. Travel on the most. No, not really. It's probably one of the lines I have travelled on the most. It's a weird thing. If you live in Cambridge, you tend to go to Norwich as a little bit of a break, and if you live in Norwich, you tend to go to Cambridge as a little bit of a break. It's weird, isn't it? Norwich is a lovely, lovely city. Lovely, lovely city. I do enjoy it. And I've done a lot of trains. Petans is a big offshore oil and gas training place next to the airport. Done quite a bit up there, so this is a bit of a commute for me for a while. But the route is just, it's not one of those routes that you sort of go, oh, that was a really pretty route, that. Because most of the time you're going through Fenland stuff. You go Fenland, then you get into sort of Thetford, so you're in sort of Breckland bits, and then you come into Norfolk, and it's pretty, don't get me wrong, if you like flat Norfolk, Suffolk and Cambridge. For me, it's just not the prettiest thing in the world. But then again, when I did the crew to Chester a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, this is stunning. And the guys I was on the train with, which was Brian, APT Brian's the guy that looks after the APT, and Mull Junction. And they were like, well, yeah, can I suppose it is? And I was like, yeah, it really is. But because they do it all the time, you just don't notice it. And I think that's a bit for me with this route. It is relatively pretty, and when you're going through, sort of, especially the Suffolky bit, Thetfordy bit, you've got a lot of the Scots pines that are all windswept and all sort of bent over slightly. It really just doesn't look right. But it is. It's how it's meant to be. It's really strange. It's a good route, though. If I remember rightly, I can spad this one. The signalling isn't perfect. That's not me actually spadding. The signalling isn't perfect, chat. As said, it is an alpha. Oh, I should really show you Spooner's Row, shouldn't I? Spooner Row. Woohoo! It's a pretty little station. I think there's another signal box or something to come up in here. Masali was saying the other day. But everything's just very nicely done. There's a lot of detail got into this. Funny enough, these signals weren't red for Chris when he did the scenario, but they are for me, so we don't know, don't know what it is. It's quite odd. So remember, we can pass this. It is not a spad. So this is Wymondham. This is where there's a spur off to... Is it Mid Norfolk Railway or the North Norfolk Railway? I think it's North Norfolk Railway, isn't it? Mid Norfolk Railway? Could never remember. I think it's actually Mid Norfolk Railway, that one. That's down there. So this is Wymondham. Again, really nicely done. A very lived-in, well-used feeling to the route. It's just nice. It's just really nice. Does this go anywhere? No, I'm guessing this just goes to dead end at the minute. There's a lot of people have been talking about a lot of merge possibilities and everything with this, with 64-bit train sim and stuff coming out. So there's loads of potential for this. Loads of potential. That's it. Come on. Try and stop me doing pathetic rollbacks on my videos. I think the signal drops take a while just because of the way the signal's set up at the minute. Ain't she pretty? I mean, the route itself is very short, so I mean, FPS doesn't really mean much, but I mean, we're talking... Oh, my camera's slightly wonky on OBS. We're talking up to 90, pretty much 90 frames per second. But of course, that's because it's 16 miles, it's only Diddy. But if I was getting 30 frames per second already, I'd be worried. And I'm not, so it's looking good. See, this stretch in real life where I start getting the kids ready, getting all their iPads away, getting the colouring pencils back in the packets. For some reason, every time I go to Norwich, I end up with the dogs. I don't take the dogs with us to Norwich for some reason. I think it's because we had a friend of a friend who had a caravan, like a static caravan thing at near Lowestoft. And I prefer getting the train, send the missus in the car with one of the kids, and me take the other kids and the dogs on the train. It was one of those proper cheesy caravan sites as well. Pretty much my idea of hell. But it was a free holiday, I ain't moaning. And the kids love a bit of cheese like that, don't they? Just captures the route really, really well. I wonder, by knowing the route, that should in theory make it, like, you know what I mean, by knowing the route in real life, do I think it will make it easier to learn this HUDless? Maybe. Maybe. But you can say that about Huntingdon to King's Cross. I know that pretty damn well. Still never managed that one. Edinburgh Glasgow is about 50 miles as well. Still haven't mastered that one. So no is the answer to that. You guys might be able to do this. PTG will have it nailed in 10 minutes. And I think the joy of this route is it hopefully should speed up, because a lot of it now Norwich and that is done, it just looks like this. You sort of go really doing like Thetford bit, you're going through Thetford Forest at points. So there's lots of very wooded bits. Jointed track as well. Really does it for me. When we get to the Trail Swing Bridge as well, I'll show you that. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. The actual run into Norwich is lovely. I mean, even these bits, like these bridges here, have got like the sort of the broken railings, the rough paint on the bridges. Nothing's too crisp. Just like the line looked, really. This is us on the approach into Norwich now. Great Eastern Main Line above us. Oh, there's actually something really quite quirky coming up now, actually. Crisping, which I quite like. I'm running a little bit early. No, late. Still denied. I know what it is that's coming. Because I've done this scenario. Some of you will have seen it if you were watching the stream last night. Do remember, guys, Twitch is Sunday night from 7 o'clock and Wednesday night from 7 o'clock. Usually go through, I think last night I finished about 12:30. This is a quality little odd working that I really like that Chris has done. The RS66 just with a DBSO. It's cool. And this is the Trail Swing Bridge. It's brilliant. Even though in real life it's a bit broken. In fact, may use this as the screenshot. It's just so nice. Having been under this in real life as well. Oh, should I try and get the river bit in it as well? It's just so nicely done. So nicely done. Oh, never will notice that either. That's cool. And then we have Crown Point, which is of course on point today with a 170 and a 90 and Mark III set. An AGA livery. Norwich. Something I really like about Norwich Station as a terminus. TPWS grids are set at 10 for this platform as well, so I need to be careful. Carrow Road, Norwich Stadium. Not that I'm a football fan in any way, shape or form. All I know is that Norwich have something to do with Delia Smith. Set of tractors there, look, and then a Colas 37 as well. It's a lovely scenario, really, really nice scenario. The scenario that comes with it is nice as well. That's a good laugh. That's an out and back service. It's this Wyndham stop at Spooner Row on the way, and then get into Norwich, and then back, just stopping at Wyndham and Attleborough. And that be us at Norwich, which is very, very nice. Alright then, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you guys can give some really good feedback in the comments for this route as well, because it is nice. It is very, very nice. Alright then, guys, once again, thank you very, very much for joining me. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe to this channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. If you have, make sure you've hit that little notification bell so you get my videos first. Head over to Twitch on a Sunday and Wednesday from 7 PM onwards for a little bit more of an adult bantery train simmy thing. Alright, and guys, once again, thanks so much. I'll catch you next time.